You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose.
Your own jingle, Ashley.
As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in.
Hey! It's Monday again. Can you guys believe it? Are you on your own?
Guys, actually, Gavin's just got up and ran out of the room, so you just stuck with me this morning.
Oh my goodness! I hope it's all right.
We think we've found someone else to do it. Hannah Mampstead from Unscripted Marketing. So he's just frantically emailing her now.
Oh right, so she's going to come in and join us. So this is the thing when you're doing something with live business, right? All these different things happen in business, and then so today, let's be transparent, Jamie. Someone's dropped out at last minute. And it's not a problem because we've got two amazing people in the green room.
Absolutely,
they can hear us, and if they wave, we can see that they can hear us. We're going to bring them in a minute. But if you found somebody else as well, short notice, and that was short notice, then that just shows how it
Hannah's
all works.
As well. Hannah's decent. Is she coming up?
Hannah's coming on.
Amazing. So we've got the third person, which is epic.
Right, so she's got the link, so she'll be joining in a second, so that'll be fun. So how is it going with you guys? Look, this just goes to show that you two guys, nothing phases you, and we've still got a couple of months before the show. So how's it all going?
Oh God, is it 7 weeks now?
Yep,
it is like 7 weeks, and we're not anxious at all.
Why should you be?
Yeah, we are. Everything's just at 100 miles an hour at the moment. But the most not overwhelming thing, but the best thing that we're hearing from so many people in so many different corners of the region at the moment is just how much of a buzz is being created around BizFest. And we're hearing about people speaking about the event and networking events. Are you going? We're going. Have you got your tickets yet? Yeah, well, we're actually exhibiting there. So I'd say the closer we're getting to the event, just hearing this feedback is like, well,
it's reassuring.
It's like
all the work that we are doing is working.
It's like the build up to Christmas, isn't it? All right, yeah. We're bonfire night now, aren't we?
Yeah.
If Christmas Day is BizFest Southwest on the 2nd of April, we must be at bonfire night, and that's when it starts getting exciting, doesn't it? And look, you're creating such a buzz. Mehal is watching in India.
Oh my God.
That is how much of a buzz we are creating. We are creating. Any new stands we can shout about? Any new speakers we can shout about? Anything exciting happening?
Yeah, well, I think we're up to. We did a little mini audit the other day, and we're up to 177 separate individual organisations involved in the event now.
Actually, be more now.
So yeah, I mean we're approaching, I'd say 75% full now. So we've still got a lot of space to fill, but in compared to what we've done since the beginning of June, it's been nothing short of remarkable, is it, really, in terms of the exhibitors? But a big one we welcomed on recently was Toyota, the car company, and we're currently in some initial discussions on them on an additional coverage. But like on Friday, we brought on Papers Past with Ian Wilshire, who's a new exhibitor. Those those websites where you can go to and you can get like a newspaper of when you were born and stuff like that.
Okay.
He actually has the official newspapers. They're not printouts or anything. But yeah, we're in really good shape. It's just there's so much more to do, but I reckon we'll get it done.
Oh yeah, I mean to give you some stats. I mean, like we brought on this month, February, we brought on 13 new exhibitors. 9 of those came on board last week.
Wow.
But we have also brought on a couple of new ambassadors. So Hannah Mampstead, who's going to be joining you today from Unscripted Marketing. Hannah's come on board as an ambassador. We also had Ivan Williams, who is part of Bar Nova. He's got a company called Bar Nova, but he's also part of, I'm going to get this wrong now. It's either Devon Chamber or Exeter Chamber. I'm pretty sure it's Exeter Chamber. He's on the board there. So Exeter Chamber and Devon Chamber have both come on board as partners. We've also had Katie Arscott come on board from Sisters and Sequins. And she's come on board as an ambassador as well.
It's
So
like
yeah,
all these cool people are getting involved, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Oh wow.
And we recently partnered with Heart of Southwest Growth Hub as well, like the biggest public sector funder for SMEs and entrepreneurs in the Southwest. So that was a massive
Who was that?
coup. Heart of Southwest Growth Hub.
Oh yeah, Heart of Southwest Growth Hub. Yeah.
So I think we're like 19 or 20 partners involved in the show now. So
Yeah.
these are all like, as you can see on our website, actually proper respected institutions in the general business and networking field in the Southwest that are they're nailing their colours to the post for BizFest, and we're very much a fundamental part of what they're doing for this year. So it's going to be one day.
No, well done. Well done. Right. I'm going to bring these lovely people in. Lovely to see you. I will see you next Monday. And just incredible how you could just turn this show from 2 people to 3 people. So, yeah,
well,
no pressure on Hannah. But hey, thanks very much, guys. You take care. Cheerio.
Thanks very much, Ashley.
Cheers.
Right, let's get some cool people in the room today. Lizzie, Ricky, and Hannah. How the devil are you?
Hi.
Oh, you can talk. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to pick on Hannah first because I know you've done this before. Hello, Hannah. Who are you? What do you do?
Hello, I'm Hannah and I run unscripted marketing with my sister Tabs. And we've just been brought on board recently to BizFest. And that's it. Hi.
Hi, Hannah. We go back a long way, so it'd be lovely to catch up with you. Lizzie, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and did you bring any cakes today?
Unfortunately not. I already took some spares actually to work this morning with me. So I'm Lizzie. I run Busy Baking, which is a group of small businesses basically. I do wedding cakes, and I also run an Etsy shop with biscuit mix bags, and do corporate events with branded cupcakes and cookies and biscuits and nice things basically.
Excellent. Have you got any yellow icing?
Well, I could definitely make it.
Yeah, you have to. And Ricky, last but by no means least.
Hi, I'm Ricky from founder of 2WOW actually, and we help people building businesses and up and coming leaders understand and construct their path to success, so they've got clarity and actions to move forward for long-term and success now and in the future. So awesome. That's us.
Awesome. And I'm going to ask you the question that I bet everybody asks you. Go on,
go for it.
You're not going to guess the question that everyone asks you.
I think it might be to do with the name, possibly.
Yes.
Yeah. It's to do with
we all want to know.
I like to introduce it, and I'm discovering now from school workshops that people of a certain age get this joke, but we're not a dodgy tribute band. We are actually, it comes from years and years ago when I was building a team in another business, and actually we needed a team name, and it was about we're working together, we achieve more. So the 2 is together, we achieve more. That's where it comes from.
Perfect. That makes perfect sense now. Thank you very much indeed. And we do, because we just started the show, right? We're chatting to Jamie and Gavin, and they're bringing on amazing ambassadors like yourself, Hannah, and you're going to tell us a little bit about the ambassador program. And it's all about collaboration, and we do achieve an awful lot more by working together. But, Lizzie, you said you work with a group of businesses. Tell us a little bit about that and how that all works together.
I run a group of small businesses. So it started out with me making birthday cakes and things for people, and then it's just extended into wedding cakes, which I do mainly now, and then making biscuit mix bags, and also posting cake to people all over the UK. So it's trying to spread it as far as you can.
And working in collaboration with other business owners as well to help them do the same. Is that what you're saying you do?
So for their branding, so I can I do lots of cupcakes and brownies and biscuits with all the logos on, so they can hand them out at events or use them at corporate parties, or corporate events. They use them for advertising.
No, perfect. And the other thing is with cakes, right? Who doesn't love a cake? And then what happens is, right, you create. So this is a great idea for you, Ricky. what you do is you get Lizzie to make you some 2 cakes and you send them to someone to say thank you. And then they post them on social media and then everybody gets a looking. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
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 And that's what you do, isn't it, Hannah? You do an awful lot of social media, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, that's our main kind of service that we offer at the moment. But yeah, my background's in sort of general marketing. So again, when you're talking about collaboration, you know, we lean on trusted partners to bring different elements of campaigns into, you know, what we're doing. Hopefully, give people a well-rounded marketing service.
No, perfect. And so tell us a little bit about these ambassadors then, because there's quite a few of you, isn't there? Which again helps get people to know about BizFest.
Yeah, for sure. So I only signed up to this like literally Friday, so I'll try my best. But yeah, so we met Jamie and Gavin a little while ago through Not Working Networking, which is one of our clients as well. And essentially I think there's 11 of us in total, and it's just really to help get as many people to BizFest as possible, I guess, mainly to make it, you know, to add as much value as possible to those exhibiting, those speaking, and make the first one just as epic as possible, really.
Well, just talking to Gavin and Jamie, you know it's going to be brilliant anyway. But they're already talking about next year, so you know that's just brilliant. And so what I want to do is find out why you guys have booked stands for the show. So Lizzie, why have you booked a stand to be at BizFest?
Really, for me, it's getting into a completely different market, something new. I've done a lot of exhibition type things for weddings. But for me, it's about sort of branching more into that corporate world and reaching businesses on a massive scale there.
And does that mean that we're going to be able to get a little sample when we come to your stand?
Oh, of course.
Awesome. What are you going to bring? You're going to bring. If you got any ideas, what you're going to bring yet?
I'm going to do branded biscuits.
Nice. Okay, so we will be coming to your stand.
Yeah.
Why did you set up and get a stand then, Ricky?
So I think for us, it was a really busy year last year, and we got ourselves out there. We got nominated for awards and things like that. And it was this year. It was really about actually again opening that market, those customers, and exploring other ways of starting to bring customers to the business. And also for us, it's the launch of our campaign, Bin the Business Plan. So it's an exciting way to launch that. So I've never done things by half, so I thought I could go to small events, and I was like, no, let's go for a big event. Let's really get ourselves out there and put ourselves at the forefront of something. So that's why we decided, you know, this would be. And also we like the look and feel of Business Fest Southwest. I think it's got a really fresh, energetic, fun feel about it, and you know, there's nothing worse than a stuffy business event. So this I think is going to be really fresh and really nice. So yeah.
No, last week on the show we were chatting about it. I kept calling it BuzzFest because there is such a buzz going on about it, isn't there? Right, you've opened up a can of worms now. Bin the business plan. What does all that mean? Surely we need a business plan if we're going to run a business.
Funnily enough, it's quite interesting you say that, and obviously I won't go into too much detail because on the 2nd of April we're going to do that talk in one of the seminar rooms. But there's this thing about traditional business processes, setting up a business. There are these traditions that people follow that I really just feel are kind of outdated for modern day business, and the business plan is one of those. When we start a business, people will build this overwhelming and daunting plan. That's what Stephen Bartlett actually refers to it as, a daunting and overwhelming task. Build this massive business plan that then sits in a drawer and gathers dust and actually doesn't really work to building. So it's about having something that's more simple, adaptive, more action friendly. You know, and when you look at a lot of successful people, actually, there's statistics out there that show people don't need a business plan necessarily to build a successful business, but they do need some kind of plan. So we're not totally going maverick, and you know, we're not totally going gung ho on this. There is a method to this, but it's about more adaptive and more action based approach.
Yeah. So what are the main mistakes that we make when we're setting up a business then, Ricky? bearing in mind this is only
Yeah.
a 30-minute show, and we've only got 15 minutes
I was going to
left.
say, how we've got. So I think, you know, there are lots of mistakes. Poor planning is one of them, you know, which sounds ironic when I'm saying bin the business plan, but yeah, poor planning, overwhelm, confusion, not focused on the right things. We get distracted with lots of things. I think, you know, there are many more, but, you know, we're looking at 60% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So there's got to be something wrong with the way we're doing it that is meaning so many are falling on the wayside.
That's quite a scary statistic, isn't it? And depending on who you talk to, that can be even higher. And you sort of like wonder why bother then if 60% fail. So what's the top tip?
Exactly. Top tip: more action, less procrastination.
Oh, is that you're laughing, Hannah? Is that something that resonates with yourself?
What do you think? Yeah, definitely. I find one of the big things, like moving from being employed to self-employed, is like you realize how many meetings you have about meetings that you used to have about meetings. And so actually being a business owner, you kind of have to cut quite a lot of that out. So yeah, all of what you've just said really resonates with us, I think. And yeah, it's just making it a bit simpler, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you've had an interesting journey. I don't know how much you want to share, but I met you during lockdown, didn't I?
Yes.
During lockdown, we were in this little group and we met up every single morning. And you just lost your job, hadn't you? Because, well, tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so I was working at Flybe, and obviously they went under.
Weren't allowed to fly.
We weren't allowed to fly anymore. So yeah, that was a bizarre experience in itself. We actually found out via Devon Live, which was lovely. So we all went into work the next morning, and yeah, it had hit the news, and yeah, it was a very surreal day. Lots of people had been there for a really long time. So yeah, it was a bit horrific, really. We had like reporters trying to get in through the windows and like speak to students, and yeah, it was just all a bit mental. But and then I think it was a week or 2 weeks later, lockdown hit. So yeah, the call that Ashley was talking about was a genuine lifesaver. I was on my own with a 2-year-old at the time. I don't think I would have got out of bed if it weren't for those, if I'm honest. So yeah, it's been a long time.
But look at you now, running an amazing business with your best friend and your sister, and an ambassador for the best business show in the Southwest this year, eh?
Yeah, it's always so good, isn't it, to look back? I think we get really caught up in the what we're not doing and the you know, how not well we're doing. But actually when you look back, you know, everybody's come on so far. I think it's a really important part of our week that we actually acknowledge like how far we've come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You spend an awful lot of time in business. You probably see this as well, Lizzie. You spend an awful lot of time in business looking at everybody up the mountain and they're doing amazing. And you never stop and look back. What advice have you got for small business owners, Lizzie?
I think you just got to do your best. And I find that when you're doing something you love, you try so much harder, and you're more inclined to put everything into it because you love it and you feel passionate about it and you want it to succeed. And you've just got to be brave and push yourself more than perhaps you would if you were employed, because it feels safer.
Yeah, that's you probably see this all the time, Ricky, because you know I'm really passionate about baking, so I'm going to set up my baking business. And you know, what advice have you got for anybody watching this right now that have a passion like Lizzie, but they're stuck in a job that they hate?
I think we all put things off too much, and there are two things that stand to mind from training and mentoring that I've been through. One is the graveyard is the richest place in the world because it's where all the unexplored ideas have ended up. But also, too, a quote by Richard Branson, one of his things is, you know, when an opportunity presents itself, say yes, then learn how. And I think that's kind of the mentality that we're trying to go with and trying to bring, that simplicity to success, is that, you know, sometimes you've just got to bite the bullet and learn as you go along. It's not about, you can't have a perfect, it's like trying to predict the UK weather. I think it's not something that is an easy task.
Any struggles that you've had along the way, Lizzie, that you're happy to share, and then how you got through them and where you are now?
Oh goodness. Trying to grow the business and have time to do that and have a life and do it successfully. And I've got 2 small children as well. So trying to keep everything together, as well as do your best at my part-time job, which I really enjoy, but then also at trying to find the time and put enough effort in to be able to grow something that's going to be successful. And I find it really hard to do something half-heartedly.
So you're making the biscuits and the cupcakes for corporate, and then you're making a wedding cake. So your wedding cake's going to take you quite a few hours and stuff like that. How do you prioritize your time? Again, juggling 2 small children.
Oh, I'm very organized. I've got lists coming out of my ears, basically.
I thought it was flour.
That too. Yeah, I literally have to break down every single week what needs to be done this week, what can I do when, and I do most of my work in the evenings, and trying to prioritize. And I can't delegate to anybody, so it's all me. So I just have to work out what I can fit in when. It's just about trying to be organized, but without being overwhelmed, because then it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, and then that is where the business fails, isn't it, Ricky? When you lose the fun, because it then becomes. I hear so many stories. Is you leave your job because you're working for an idiot boss, and then you end up being that idiot boss because you're just ending up having a job. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I've heard a PA that once decided to set up a business as a self-employed PA and swapped 5 bosses for 1. And it's so many times people say about I lose the fun, I lose the passion. I think it's also being prepared for that to a certain degree, because actually, when you look at artists who then become professional, the first album is always about the fun and the passion, but then they become a business where you have targets that you need to hit and things like that. So it is being prepared that in any business there's going to be this mundane stuff we've got to do, but actually it's just remembering why you're doing it and keeping that passion in there to kind of try and do some things that are fun, that make it interesting.
Yeah, and that's I love that you've gone to music, one of my passions, because the second album is never as good as the first one, is it?
No. And I think it's like, you look at Lewis Capaldi, if you've seen his documentary, he talks about that actually it was the pressure that brought on the struggles he had with the Tourette's and things like that. It was actually the stress and pressure that caused that through doing it. But yeah, I think that's often where they struggle as artists, as a business, and then many other businesses struggle.
And Lizzie, I guess a lot of us love doing a little bit of baking and making a few cakes. The transition from just doing that as a hobby or the odd weekend or for someone's birthday to now you have to do it. Are you finding that you're like Lewis Capaldi now?
I definitely don't really bake for fun anymore, and my friends and family always say, "Oh, you never just bring cakes round." And I'm like, "No, it's because I spend all day baking. I don't want to then have to make more cakes." So it does a bit, but I still enjoy it when I'm doing it. But it's then not having to do the extra as well.
Yeah, and it's finding that balance. Hannah, marketing. We've got BizFest coming up. We've got some people here that have got stands at BizFest. What advice can you give us to make sure that we get lots of people coming to our stand and stuff like that? What tools have we got that we can use?
Wow. Yeah, so I think not just thinking about the event itself, so thinking about your pre-campaign, your post-campaign. So, the idea of these shows is kind of data grab. So you want to find an interesting way to, ask people nicely to hand over their data so that you can continue to market to them.
Could swap it for a biscuit, Lizzie.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. And I think it's just, starting that process as early as possible to build up those relationships. So, starting to talk about what you'll be doing at the stand, what people can expect, and being really clear as well about what they will get afterwards. and just following it through, really. I think is probably, if I could give one bit of advice, that would probably be it.
Yeah, that's good. Being on a podcast,
Yep.
sharing that podcast, letting everybody know what you're doing, and then start putting all of that on social media and stuff like that, isn't it? Those are the sorts of things to do.
And I think also I find shows like this are quite a good excuse to be a bit more creative than you might normally be. So, you might do something that's a bit more out of your comfort zone. You might get a bit more, bold with your messaging, or, whatever it is whatever materials you're going to use on your stand. And I think, festivals like this are a really good opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and so because you literally just dropped in, parachuted in a minute before we go live. Do you have a stand at BizFest too?
So we will be in the Not Working arena with Not Working and the Sunfire Club. So no, we aren't going to have our own designated stand, just because there's not enough bodies to man it all. But yeah, we will be in the.
So if you've got a question, if we've got a question about marketing, we could come and find you and ask you.
Of course, yes. I think we'll be running some sort of social media workshop on the day or something. I'm not sure yet. We have not planned it as early as possible, but we'll talk about that more a bit later.
You need to talk to Ricky about planning. Guys, we're nearly at the end of the show. What I'd like you to do now is just give a little speech as to, so that I'm listening to this as I'm driving somewhere and I hear you talking about, oh my goodness, I really need to come to BizFest and I really need to go and find your stand. So I'm going to pick on you first, Ricky. Why should we come to BizFest and why should we look you out?
Well, it's the only place that you're going to experience a Krista Mays style challenge with jigsaw piece puzzles.
Oh, I like that. Any more? You're going to tell us any more? Or is that it? So you're just going to keep it?
I think for us, simplicity equals success. So it is about if you are looking to start or expand your business, or you're looking to grow your business in some way, and you want simplicity to the success, come and talk to us and come and have a chat with us. And we're not planning any kind of way we're going to talk to you. We're going to start with the good old fashioned, how are you?
Brilliant. And you're going to have a big bin on your stage.
That's yeah. There is going to be a big business plan and a big bin as part of the talk. So if you want to see an oversized business plan, quite literally, then yeah, come and have a look.
Fantastic. Oh, that's superb. I look forward to that. Lizzie, your turn.
Well, I'm going to have all the tasty treats. So if you want to come and try something and see all the things I can make and how you can share them with all your customers and try them, then I'll be there waiting.
You're going to have the busiest stand of the day, aren't you?
I hope so.
Yeah, so here's the thing then. How many biscuits do you have to make? That's the thing.
It's always a worry of what do you do if you've got some left over? Or what do you do if you run out?
Yeah. Which is the biggest problem?
Running out, I think. There's definitely always people to eat spares.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hannah, one last bit of advice for anybody coming to BizFest.
I would say just maximize all those relationships that you're going to be making, whether they're old, new, and even if they're not maybe potential clients or relevant to your business. I think your network will come in handy in ways you'll never know, especially if you haven't yet got one. So yeah,
cool. And as an ambassador, if I'm listening to or watching this now and I fancy having a stand at BizFest, I need to get into contact with you, don't I? If I can't get hold of Jamie or Gavin. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, go for it. And I will do my best to accommodate.
Superb. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show today. I look forward to seeing you. Are you going to be at the special networking event just for exhibitors? Where is it, Hannah?
I don't know.
It's in Totnes, isn't it? And it's
Dartington Hall. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in March. You guys, because I've already met Mickey. I have already met Ricky. Try saying that, Ricky.
It works. It gets there eventually. Maybe after a few drinks, it becomes more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. Honest, this is just water. Yeah, so we met at the last one, but are you going to the next one?
Yes, no, absolutely.
You can't make it, Lizzie.
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, what a shame. So we'll see you on the 2nd of April.
Yeah, right.
At the amazing West Point, along with Ricky and Hannah. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you in a few weeks. Next week, who have I got next week? I've created the thing this week, and now I can't find it. There we go. We have next week. We've got Sarah, Steve, and Charlotte. They're coming on to talk about what they're doing at BizFest, which is on the 2nd of April. So that's next week. But guys, thank you very much for being on my show today, and I will see you all next week. Where are you? Come back. Oh, I've got too many here now. I can't get rid of it. This is very unprofessional, isn't it? There we go. Let's get rid of that. All right. So I can say bye, everybody. I will see you next time. Cheerio.
See you
Bye.
next time.
You get out what you put in. Never